All right, welcome to my FX Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there's also a blog, which if you're watching the video, you can see here, my FX Buddies, which can be found at myfxbuddies.blogspot.com or wherever you're listening to or watching this content. Look in the more or description or details, whatever they're calling the little box. And there's a link to the blog. And now there's a video on the blog, so you could have everything all at one place. The video, all of the articles, the full articles, everything all in one spot. All right. Let me see. RSS.com, also my FX Buddies, there's a transcript for those who can't understand me because I don't know, I talk different or something, but I do know. My whole life, people have said I have an accent or, I can't understand you. So, but yeah, RSS.com still has the transcript my FX Buddy, Spotify.com, I believe also has a video. My FX Buddies. You could just do an internet search and put in my FX Buddies and the links come up. All right, so that's that. Let's see. Okay, we'll just get right into it. So it's Friday. It's Friday, February 23rd. I wanted to you know what? Whatever. Y'all know I am not what's the word? Regimented. But I did want to do this because there's some interesting stuff that has come out, especially today. But you have to wait. I'm going to talk about the most interesting thing at the very end. So you could skip through, right? And just fast forward to the end. But anyway, it's nothing to do. Well, I don't know. I shouldn't say that. Not a rate change. So it's been interesting. In my opinion, there hasn't been that much talk about the rate. Like, remember they were saying, oh, we should see the rate go down. Now, possibly on the TV, they might be saying, they might still be saying, hold on to your dinar, it's going to be worth more than the dollar. I haven't seen that, but for a while there was like all these articles saying, um, you're going to see a reduction in the dollar, right? Most of the articles now are about the electronic payment system, how good it is for them. Well, I'm going to show you one article where the one guy is like, well, they're not used to it, but they'll get used to it, right? uh, so, all right. So I just wanted to do that. There's been a lot less kablooies, right? I'm talking about in Iraq and Syria. Of course, in the Red Sea, that's still going on. But so whatever that guy Kaani, right? Kaani, whatever he said, either it is working or there was an article today. I might have it here, I may not, where some missiles were intercepted. So they did intend to hit the base in Syria, but however we blow the missiles up midair or whatever it is that happens, that happened. So there was no damage done to the bases or people. And so far we have not retaliated. And I don't think we're going to either because we're a little busy elsewhere in the world, right? All right, so let's get into the title, Prime Minister, which is who? Sadani. Yes. The importance of partnership between Iraq and the United States. And you know what? I don't even think I put the whole article because there's a lot of articles about this also. As a matter of fact, I think these go back to Wednesday. But so I tried to get the ones that were the most comprehensive. So in this picture here, I believe, well, this is Sadani. See how he's on the right and the other people are on the left. Well, our vice president in her picture, she was on the right and he was on the left, and it was a big thing in Iraq. It was in their news. That was like, I don't know if it's disrespectful or what, but they were not happy about it. But I was like, that wasn't her fault. They, you know, she's not the one who sets up the seating. But anyway, I never really paid attention to that, right, until now. And I do see he's usually on the right and the people are on the left. So I believe this is Senator Christopher Coons. What a name. And someone else is there also. But yeah, so they also went, not only did they speak to Sadani, also there was this article shouldn't have been there, but whatever it is. Alina Romanowski, see, here's Sadani again with Alina Romanowski. But this conversation was about his upcoming visit to Washington. So I guess they're trying to pre-talk, get some things arranged, get an understanding. Last year, there were articles saying Sudani will come to Washington on conditions. But then they were like, no, he didn't say that. But they do that a lot, right? Something will come out and then 2 hours later they'll deny it. And maybe he did say it, but they didn't want it out in the public or whatever. But so that's going on. There still hasn't been a date for his arrival. And today, Friday, there was no. Well, Friday is a little different animal, right? It's their holy day. News doesn't start to come out till later. So maybe this weekend we'll see more talk about it. Maybe not. But see here, he also met with what's the guy's name? Araji. Well, they have an NSA, and it is National Security something. He met with them. I'm sorry, our Biden's envoy, as they call it, met with Araji, that guy too. So clear, and so that would be security, right? That would be discussions about security. So, okay, so I had this. Remember how I was saying Russia is really trying to move in? And here's a Russia article. Iraq and Russia are intensifying their cooperation to confront the scourge of corruption. So, I don't think this is okay. Let me see. If you can see this picture here, usually when they have things set up like this, the flags are there. They're signing very official looking documents. That's usually the real thing, a real actual contract. But I think these are memorandums of understanding, although it doesn't say either way. So I don't know, but like I was saying, Russia is really moving in any way they can. So, okay, we already talked about that. What time is it? Okay. So here's a few articles back to back of people in Iraq talking bad about America. That's how I feel, but it's also kind of true. What they say is true. So it's kind of sad, but it is what it is, right? So, hold on. All right. Let's see. A representative accuses America of standing in the way of the growing Iraqi economy. So that's what that article is about. America contributed greatly to preventing the arrival of reputable international companies to Iraq. And here's another one. Here's the title. Washington restricts Iraq to the control of the Federal Reserve, manipulating the country's capabilities and dominating financial sovereignty. So you can read that. They even say, given the dictatorship that Washington is implementing towards the country through the federal bank and the delay in sending Iraq's export funds. So they have more. This is a little more lengthy article. And here's another one, but that is not the one. Here, listen to this title. A parliamentarian accuses the U.S. Federal Reserve enough of controlling the country's money. So they've had it up to here. Did your mother used to say that? I grew up with the mother who used to, you get a warning, and then if you kept doing whatever you were doing, all right, I've had it up to here. I'm coming in there. So that's what I imagine when I read the word enough, right? Of them saying we've had it up to here, America. We want our money. Okay, but is this the one? Let's see here. Yeah. So this is the one. He also calls out. Listen to this, and this is kind of why I um very early on after October 7th. Remember what happened on October 7th? If not, look that up. I don't want to say it. Um, because we're on one side of the ice cream land, pizza land conflict, and Iraq is on the other side. We can use the U.S. or the people who run the U.S. right can use their money. You know that we control their money, we control their oil. We can use that over them, and they haven't said it out loud. But guess what? Listen to this. Uh, Shoot, I just lost it. America is trying to force the country, Iraq, to pay the price of solidarity with Pizzaland, right? Cause and a position against the Zionist entity, pointing out that achieving economic independence is extremely important for the development of the Iraqi economy. So even when we back away, they're still not going to have total control. And that's just what happens when countries take money from the IMF and the World Bank. It's a tangled web that gets woven, and you lose some of your sovereignty. That's just the way it is, right? But it does seem with the BRICS coming along, I think they're going to fail. I As time goes on, they're more split. They're splitting. Um, but they're going to have like 250 meetings this year, all in Russia, because the BRICS, they changed the presidency of their group or whatever, and this year it's Russia. But anyway, well, I shouldn't say all, but most of them are going to be in Russia. Okay. And partly because, there's still some places that if Putin travels, they'll try to arrest him, supposedly. So that, as long as that conflict is going on, and Sudani's been very, what's the word, boisterous? Vocal. He's been very vocal in all the meetings. He's like, hey, we want to work for, the side that we are for. And yeah, so until there's some resolution, I was going to say they've sent a ton of aid to that area. At the last count that I had was 10. They had sent 10 shipments of goods and aid to the area that starts with a G and ends with A, and it's 4 letters. Let's see if it's in this article. I can point to it. No, it's not in this article. Okay, so hopefully that all of that was geared towards one specific person. Hopefully she's listening and she understands why I have. Oh, and for that's why I've moved to June. It's not that everything isn't ready. everything uh, electronic, political, in my opinion, they could RV tomorrow, but because of the power struggle and the political issues, that's what's holding it up, in my opinion, right? Because what do I know? I just read the articles. Well, I follow, I very, as an adult, I'll say, I have followed the Middle East because it helps me understand the Bible more when I read the Bible, right? Plus, when Jesus comes back, he's going to go back over there, right? So it's good to know about that area. So, and that's my opinion, right? And it's still okay for me to have my own opinion here in America. All right. So, but the point of me saying that was it's the articles that I go by, plus um, other, the that part, the religious battle, that you could say good and evil, battle of good and evil or whatever, but just to be sensitive, because I know there's people that listen that are Muslims, so um, I'll just say the religious battle. All right, so now this was pretty interesting. ITC hosts Iraq National Trade Forum, and look who was there. The UN and the World Trade Organization and the EU. I think this already happened. I think it's over now. It's over now. But yeah, and it's kind of long. If you want to read that, you can. I particularly did not want to. All right, smartphone market in Iraq nearly doubles. And why? Because they're pushing them to electronic payment system. So here, Iraq's smartphone market surged with an impressive 86% growth despite rising restrictions on US dollar cash withdrawals by local banks, exacerbating a shortage and driving up the parallel market exchange rate. But yeah, so they want them doing everything electronically, so what you gotta have electronics, right? And yeah, so they're pushing them really fast. And soon they'll be saying, here, you don't even need a debit card. You could just uh, use your phone. What is it? I don't know because I don't pay with my phone. Scan your phone, scan, whatever. But yeah, so it won't be long before they're doing that if they're not already doing that. Here's my one commercial. I can show you how to make $75. And it's not a business and you're not selling anything. All right, so here military stuff. I think I just had one or two. Oh, maybe just one. But this was a different perspective. This person is saying, yeah, we want you to leave, but the government does not want foreign forces to leave in a hostile manner. Think Afghanistan, how we exited there. It could have been done better, right? So, yeah. So, um, yeah. Okay, here's more. I have this EPS, electronic payment system. So here's an article. Multiple advantages and an important turning point. How did electronic payment methods affect the Iraqi economy? So you can read that. The use of electronic money. Look at that. They're using that instead of digital money. They're saying electronic money, represented by payment cards and abandoning cash dealing. And this is a different one. This isn't the one where they said cashless like 80 times. I'm exaggerating. But look at here. This electronic transformation of use of money in daily transactions represents the utmost importance in the government's direction. So yeah, so they're pushing them really fast. All right, and here, now this is an interesting article. I wish you would read. Well, I guess because it talks about the humans, right? The humans they see what's happening. From cash to cards, workers struggle, electronic payment prospects, and Iraq's shift to a cashless future. So the first guy here is Muhammad Ali. He's 33. He believes that the electronic payment system device placed next to him is the main reason for a decline in the tips he receives. And he may even lose his job as citizens increasingly use Visa cards to purchase fuel. And I thought there was one more. So he works at a gas station. But there's another article of this type, and they interview a lady that cooks goods, not goods, sweets. She is like a street vendor, and she bakes and has breads and sweets. And she also was worried about, you know, not being able to take cash. She mostly takes cash, but I don't think this is the one. But anyway, so here's the one. Yeah, it's getting used to these cards will be a preparatory step for citizens who are not accustomed to visiting banks to open accounts, conduct commercial transactions, and even receive salaries, as mentioned in the blah blah blah. He says, oh, no. So employees are accustomed to this, but not non-employees, right? So, however, with time, they will realize the benefits. So, you wake up, you have no choice, you got to do it, and you will like it, right? That's how I interpret that. But then also, this would scare me if I was a citizen there and I read this. Putting money in the MasterCard will transfer the funds from the citizen's wallet to the state's balance. And isn't that so, right? When we have cash, it's in our hand. It's our money. We can use it as we see fit. But if you pay by card, already here in America, they're rejecting payments at some GUN stores or places that sell accessories for GUNs. And I've even seen where some medicinal that's alternative, puff puff pass, right? Some credit/debit card vendors are rejecting those. So you're losing control, right? And that, and I think the citizens read this and understand that's what's going on. And that's why there's delays. And they even had, what did one guy say? There's obstacles. Oh, you know what? I think I have that here. We face challenges in electronic collection. So I think he says, let me see. Well, the workshop briefed all government institutions on how to activate the electronic collection project, the challenges that departments face in the transformation process, and finding quick solutions regarding this matter. So see, they're clearly behind where they want to be. We know that. That sentence right there basically confirms that. So they're like, how can we speed this up? Okay, so this, if you're looking, that is Aaliyah Locke, the CBI governor. Yesterday there was a seminar, whatever, not seminar, conference, I don't know what to call it, workshop, right? They called it a workshop. So he was there and he spoke. I was hoping to hear from him this week, but not in this capacity. Because I wanted to hear him say something about either the 3 zeros project, right, or the rate. That's what I wanted, and I didn't get it. But oh well. But so he did come out later in the week, and again, that's why I said the focus right now is all on this electronic payment system. All right, so you can read that if you like. But in this guy, he's the deputy something or another. Nope, he's the director of operations and settlements department at the CBI. So he works at the CBI. And so that was that statement that I read about the challenges, that he said that. Okay. Here, so here's part of, I don't know. if we covered here, one one parliamentarian came out and said, "Hey, there's like 450 laws that are missing. Someone came and took these 450 laws. Where did they go?" But I've been saying for years, there's a bunch of laws just sitting and waiting. They're waiting for the rate change. They're investment laws, extortion, bribery, kidnapping, all kinds of stuff, right? The oil and gas law. Here they name a few, but so this is a different article. Fate of laws withdrawn by Iraqi government remains uncertain. And it says lawmaker and his name's here, but that's not important. So, but he's like, okay, well, we know you took those laws to amend them. Okay, so when are you going to do it? When are they going to be amended? And when will they be sent back to be voted on? So, here. So, Visa was back. Guess who's back? Back again. And I'm not sure why this was big news. They had it on their TV news, everything. So it still basically says pretty much the same thing. They have modern technology, best of the digital transformation, Middle East and Africa, all of that. So, but there's an article that came out today. Oh, here, it is here. So this last part, as well as its readiness to bring expertise, in addition to employing more Iraqis in its office in Baghdad, so Visa has an office in Baghdad, with the aim of reaching 500,000 acceptance points from electronic payment points of sale in Iraq. Now, I don't use credit cards, so I'm not exactly sure what this 500,000 acceptance points are. And I did ask if I could get some clarity on it. But so far, nothing. But yeah, so they talked about the desire to continue cooperation with the CBI and all Iraqi banking sector institutions. So yeah, still to me that's not saying anything new except so they did say there's a visa office in Baghdad and they want to employ more Iraqis. All right, let's see, what is this? The government has placed economic and banking reform among its most important priorities. So this was part of that speech that he gave, part of the things that he talked about, and also another article about the visit from the visa committee. Okay. Oh, so Iraq reopens largest oil refinery after decade-long shutdown. So this was big news. They talked about it in the like Baghdad area news and the Kurdish news. They showed the speech on TV too. What's in here? Let's see. Iraq is one of the world's top oil producers, pumping out some 4 million barrels per day, according to Sudani, and its economy is highly dependent on crude exports. However, it still imports gas and refined products, especially from its neighbor, Iran. They had to get that in there. So this is interesting. You might want to read that. Here, I just have this here. Some people like articles like this, but they're talking about how inflation, right? The prices of goods and services has gone up 18% over 4 years. But they are, just like us, they're paying some of the highest prices. And they get into that, right? And they even have a chart here, which is the numbers we can read, but the categories are in Arabic. But some of it is discussed in the article. So you can read that if you want. Okay, this is good. I'm going to be like 5 minutes more, okay? So please, if you can, just bear with me. This came out today. Parliamentary finance, increasing the salaries of 3 levels of employees by 50%. So a lot of us were wondering, well, why did they suspend the budget, right? Why are they having to approve a budget that was already approved, right? All these unanswered questions. Well, this article is very eye-opening. So they're making amendments. They're making amendments to 2023 and 2024. Um, one of them is increasing 3 levels of employees' salaries by 50%. So that's great, right? But not everyone, just certain ones, and they say which grade of they are. But they listen to this. The 2024 budget tables will be sent to the House of Representatives to vote on. They don't say when. Explaining amending the salary scale requires 34 amendments and cancellations between a law and a decision because it conflicts with previous decisions, and this requires in-depth study and research. So we took decisions to increase the allocations for minimum salaries so that we do not have to wait for the salary scale to be adjusted. So you see what they did there? They're like, okay, you're going to dilly-dally with this law. Well, we're just going to go amend those tables and bypass that law. So that's great, right? How much longer is that going to take? I don't know. So that's why it would be frozen or suspended, right? So they could make those necessary changes. Okay, so I'm going to spend a little time on this because I think this is highly interesting. And this is the last article, right? And I don't know why it's skinny like that. But if you're on a cell phone, you probably won't notice the difference anyway. So this came out this morning. I read it and read it and read it. The evolution of the Kuwaiti dinar. So I put, does someone feel threatened? So it says, although Kuwait may be small compared to other countries, its currency holds considerable power, adding an intriguing allure that captivates many people. So you could read this. You should read this. It's very interesting, and it's not long either. But they have some pictures. So I'm going to go to the site. I think this is the most current notes that they use, right? And they're in Arabic. So don't you're not going to see 25 5, right? The numbers are Arabic and they're only showing the front. I believe these are the front. But and the link to the article is here, right? So if you go to the blog, then you could click link and then you'll see these other pictures. So let me go back. Here's so it starts with this is, I don't know what this is, but it says here it's a form of currency used in the Gulf countries in the 1980s. What is that? It looks like a metal. To me, it looks like something that could end up being a paper clip if it was folded, right? Um, so here's another issue of the paper. The first, here's coins from 1961. Here's, I don't know, a piastra, Kuwaiti piastra. And then here's some kids, look like they're playing with marbles, and it's a drawing. There's no way to stop this. It's like a slideshow for those who are looking. I don't know how to stop it. So I were marbles once a form of money? I don't know. But yeah, so look at that. I actually have a coin that looks like that. It's a necklace. So I'm wondering later on I'll see if I'll get it looked at to see if it's something. Now here, doesn't it look like these kids are playing Duck Duck Goose? Have you ever played Duck Duck Goose? Oh, let's see. See that? Isn't that interesting? They made a picture. Okay, but so here's the last. I think this is the modern 10 Kuwaiti dinar note. Oh wait, it's the sixth issue. Yeah. So anyway, so if you go to the link, then you could see those images for yourself if you like. Don't you think that's interesting? They would choose this time right now to talk about their currency and how powerful it is. Plus, this could be, oh yeah, look, the Kuwaiti piastre. It only lasted as money for a few months. But anyway, this could be another way to educate the citizens, the Iraqi citizens, about the dollars and the coins. So, yeah, I find this very interesting. All right, so that's it. It's Friday. Unless something comes out, I don't intend to record tomorrow, but maybe Sunday. So we'll see what the weekend brings. So I will thank you for watching, listening, however you're enjoying this content. I highly recommend going to the blog so you can see the articles and read them for yourself, because I just point out what's important and interesting to me. You may find some other facts in the articles that are important to you. All right, so as always, I will say accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals, pay all your bills. Oh, I also wanted, someone had left a comment. Oh, it sounds like they're doing just fine and they'll never need to RV. No, it's not fine. The everyday citizens, probably like you and me, they're struggling. They're angry. If you ever see them be interviewed, I don't want to say angry, but you keep promising me things are going to get better. I'm going to have more purchasing power. We've heard it before, going all the way back to Abadi. You made these promises, and here we are. We're still waiting. We're borderline in war again, and you don't seem to be doing anything about it. But they do need to. They need to revalue their currency. They need to pass those laws so foreign investors will have the confidence to come in and start they use the word of recon, re, renaissance. Yeah, couldn't get that out, right? They use quantitative leap, right? And so they can't do the things that would be described in that manner without um, changing the rate of their money and passing those laws that protect domestic investors as well as foreign investors. So I know it's frustrating, and that's why I said be prepared. Be prepared to be here this year. Um, yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go because woo, it's almost 40 minutes. All right. Thanks for listening. Try to have some fun this weekend. It's not gonna rain out here, so get outside, do some stuff, and focus on the people in your life. Spend some time with the people in your life. All right. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the rest of your morning, noon, night, whatever time frame you're enjoying this. And until next time.